Hey gamers, if you're looking for a tableau builder with lots of opportunity for scoring, then you want to check out Forest Shuffle Dartmoor. Let's take a look at how this game plays. In this game, each player is going to be building out their own forest, and they want to have ultimately the most points at the end of the game. There are all different types of cards that players will get throughout the game. On their turn, they can either draw 2 cards, and they can draw from the top of the deck or from the clearing if any cards are available there. The trees and shrubs are going to be played vertically into a player's forest, and in order to play a card, they will need to pay for it. So in this case, I need to pay 2 cards from my hand in order to play that card. So I'm going to pay these 2, put them in the clearing, and play that out into my forest. These vertical cards allow players to play up to 4 cards, 1 on each side of them, as long as it is, of course, the appropriate type. Terrain cards, on the other hand, which are the moors, they are going to be played horizontally, and they allow for also 4 cards, but only 2 above and 2 below, none on the sides here. And so those will all be played as kind of your base for playing other cards. Then you have the different types of animal cards, which again all have some kinds of costs on them, and they will be played to the appropriate side. So if I want to play the horse on this card, I'll play it on this side of one of my trees, but if I want to play the rabbit, then I'll play it on that side. When a player plays a card as well, they'll be able potentially to do certain abilities on them. Some will happen automatically. Some will happen if they pay for the card with the appropriate type of other cards from their hand. And then some things will also have just endgame scoring on them. These other cards here, unlike those ones that will play on the sides of the trees, will be played. They can be played to trees or to terrains. They just go above or below as appropriate for which one that you want to actually be playing. When players are playing cards, and again, they might be paying, so they might be putting cards out to the clearing, they'll always check at the end of their turn if the clearing is full. If it does have 10 cards in it, then they are going to wipe that clearing, discard everything, and nothing will refill from it. That will just wipe them because there's too much out there, so they'll just go away, and then the next player will not have those available to them. When players are drawing cards, if they are drawing from the top of the deck, or if they're drawing to put things into the center, because when trees are played, players will also have to put something from the top of the deck into the clearing. If a winter card is pulled, the first and second winter card don't do anything. They're just kind of warning you that the end of the game is coming. But once the third one is drawn, the game will end immediately, and players will head into scoring, looking at all of their different cards to see how they score, what they score off of. Some will look at other cards, some will ask if you have the most out of any forest, things like that. And then the cave that players started with at the beginning of the game might also give them some kind of scoring. For example, this one that I selected gives me a point per card that was in my cave, which I could have gotten from certain abilities of different cards. At the end of scoring, whoever has the most points wins. So I had actually never played the original Forest Shuffle before this one, but from what I understand from people who had played that one and this one, it's very similar. A lot of the mechanisms are the same. You're just going to be picking up cards, playing cards, building out that tableau to score as best you can. There's very, very slight differences from what I understand. But overall, I would say that I did enjoy this. I really liked being able to have a lot of different opportunities for the cards, because all of the cards that you're going to be playing under the trees and the terrains are dual-sided, so you're going to be deciding, oh, do I want this ability or that ability, or, oh, if I play this card, I do have the right cards to pay for it with that get me a bonus, so is that better than this other card that might score me more later? So I do like that there's a lot of small decision-making that kind of cascades into a lot of like combo-y feeling plays for your cards. There's a lot of choices, of course, which can definitely cause some AP with certain players if it's going to slow them down because they're trying to like min-max every turn or every card that they play, so that can be a little frustrating at times, but I think overall the game flow is really good because most of the time players are kind of planning ahead, saying like, I'm going to play a card on my turn, I'm going to draw cards on my turn, and they're kind of already planning based on what's in their hand because of how the payment system works, what they're going to be playing. There are turns where that kind of changes. I've definitely had turns where somebody pays for something and then I say, oh, I actually think I'm going to pick up cards this turn because I really need that card. I really want that card for my tableau. And so you wait another turn to play because you want to pick up cards so badly. And I do also like that because that game is on a timer. You're not sure when the game is going to end. And that's also just really interesting because you are pushing your luck just a little bit with deciding, I'm going to draw this turn instead of playing, even though I kind of want to play this card. Because you don't know when that game's going to end. Once that first winter card comes out, the tension is high because it becomes very real that the game could end at any moment. So I just think that works pretty well. Although with that, I'm not the biggest fan of games that don't have equal turns, because I do think that there's something to be said for if somebody gets more turns than other players in a game, especially like this, because there's a lot of opportunity for comboing and scoring. There's already that luck of the draw, so other players getting more turns isn't quite right for me. I know you do get to draft the caves in backwards turn order because of that, but I don't think that the caves score so well or that incredible that kind of makes up that difference at times. Luckily, it doesn't seem to happen too often where players are getting like so many more turns than others, even in a 5-player count game. So I think it all kind of does work out. Like I said, for me, my preference is just not games with unequal turns. But overall, if you like tableau building and simple card games, I think that this really does a good job of being simple while having a lot of decision space. But you can check my full thoughts on the blog today to decide if this one's for you.